Ah, great. Hi. I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, it's my first time of such their life. So I'm at there.
No, it's fine. I can't hear you clearly, Watsuban.
Should I put on my
Yeah, if you can do that, can you try it, please? Can you hear me clearly?
yes, they connected. Can you hear me now? Is there
That's a
any
bit
difference?
better. Yeah, there's
Oh,
a
okay.
difference. It's slightly better. I hope.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank
Okay. If you can just help with like voice projection, just a bit here and there, just so we don't lose you.
Karin?
If we can just help with voice projection when you're just explaining yourself so that we don't lose you. But for now, it's a lot better.
Okay, no problem. I'll do that.
Okay. Otherwise, George, thank you so much for agreeing to this. I'm really excited. I'm quite honored. Um, you're very busy on social media, and this is one thing like why I really wanted to have someone like you on this platform and in this conversation. One, because statistics in South Africa for suicide with men are crazy and far above women, and because you're a man, I was really happy about that. Two, because you're doing such a great impact in community, and three, because you're so active on social media, but you're active in the right direction. And what we've noticed since COVID hit is that obviously we are now more active on social media as people because we had more time and there was more working from home instances.
So
But now people can fall in the trap of being on social media and not in the right spaces. So if we can try help people see that there are people like George on social media and others that you can follow, which is not just influencers, but people that really will impact you on a day to day. That is really like exciting. So I got really excited when you agreed to do this chat with me.
no,
Thank you
thank
very
you,
much.
thank you, man, for having me. Yeah. As I'm saying,
Yeah.
it's my first time doing this kind of engagement. Yeah, but let's hope I'll add value at the end of our engagement. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
I know, I
Yeah.
do believe so. Tell me, George, did you know about Suicide Prevention Month until I called you about it?
No, no. Honestly, I had no idea we had such a month, which I was taken to say no. It means we're really heading to the right direction if
Yeah.
we have such month. And okay, from my view on my side, I think this is something we including such platform like yours, it's something we should have like on daily basis, weekly basis, because when it comes to this touchy subject, which is suicidal, it happens every minute, man. It's crazy at a rate where you'll
Mm,
be surprised how many people do take their life
mm.
every day, every minute. Yeah, so I'm really honored to be invited to such platforms. May God broaden your blessings. More people need such platform. It's very important that we have such platforms. So thank
Yeah.
you for that. Yes.
No, thank you, thank you. Tell me, because we're trying to not just speak about suicide, né, um, and like sit on how bad it is of an impact in society and what's really going on. More than anything, we'd like to have conversations around suicide in a way that are going to help us that are still, currently okay and not in a really bad mental space to know what to do with ourselves at the moment to grow ourselves better, but also to know what to do with the people around us, right? Because sometimes we actually could have a good result or good impact on the next person and on them deciding not to take that step to commit suicide, right? Because it is suicide
Yes.
prevention. We're not just doing suicide awareness. We're trying to find ways to prevent it. So I want to know when especially being in business and working with people, what is the routine that you have, um, either on a daily basis or weekly basis or monthly basis, but a routine or this impacts your mental health in a really good way?
Okay. Okay. Just before I go on, apologies, my manners. Let me introduce myself to. I see we have some people on the line as well. Uh,
Mm.
my name is Mfana. I'm the founder of UNI Marketing Solutions. It's a marketing company. I'm also a founder of Make a Difference charity organization. So we help underprivileged kids and families study school uniforms, food, and everything. As we know, just after COVID, a lot of people have lost their jobs. Some who still have their jobs, who will, you understand. So yeah, so that's where we come in. It's been 5 years, Rita this thing a charity, and then yeah,
Okay.
we've been doing it with the help of the community. We've never had like your sponsor and everything, but yeah, I have also some good news. Next week, I'm meeting with the company Feedvest. They're actually going to help us with about 3,000 to 4,000 pairs school shoes.
How you see what I speak about when I George, what
Yeah,
did you hey? This is what I mean when I say you do amazing work, and I'm actually really happy you did the introduction because I have an idea, obviously, from interacting with you on social media of what you do. But I'm happy you brought it
yeah,
up and went into detail about it like this now. That's
yeah. So
amazing.
thank you, man. Yeah, it can only be God. So yeah, if
Yeah.
we have people online which I can see, if they know of children who need help, especially with school uniform, school
Mm.
shoes, they should be free to do it through you. You let me know because you are the link between us right here in this space. So yeah, man,
Definitely.
it can only be God. So yeah, that's what I do in a nutshell. I actually do a bit of lot of things, and then yeah, this is what I feel it aligns with why we are here today. So to
Okay.
answer your question, please can you repeat the question again? I'm a bit
Okay.
lost there.
The question was your routine. What is it that you do that you know works for you for your mental health? I'm
Yeah,
basically trying to get us to implement different people's ideas, so that we can just see what can work for us so that we do better for our mental spaces.
yes. I think I can't really point one thing that I do to be in a good space mentally. But
Mm,
what I can tell you is that we all of us, I believe that every single person has their challenges, it disturbs mentally. So
yes.
it's how you approach the situation that you are in. You know,
Mm.
what I think helps me personally, it should be I read a lot of books.
Oh,
I,
okay.
I I read a lot of books, which keeps me busy from
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. Not to say I'm running away from my problems, but it helps. And then I do exercise as well, and then
Okay.
it really helps a lot as well in terms of your
Yes.
mental. Then
Mm.
we have different beliefs, as people. There are people who believe that God doesn't exist. They have
Mm-hmm.
their reason. There are people who believe Madozini, they have their
Mm-hmm.
reason. So having a belief, it really helps a lot. It really helps a lot. And for me personally, that's one thing that helps me, that keeps
Mm.
me my mentally normally at a good state because I do believe in God a lot. I
Okay.
pray, and then I also do believe in Magos, my ancestors. I believe in them.
Yes.
That's how I was brought up. So whenever I face challenges, I do speak to my ancestors to tell us
Mm-hmm.
maybe. and speak to them to lead me in the right direction. And I also
Mm.
pray. Yeah, I pray a lot to talk to God about the situation that I'm in, because I believe there's no situation that God can put me in, and then the situation is bigger than me. I don't believe
Mm.
that situation. I just need to believe more and find ways to get my way through whatever challenges that I'm facing. But as I said, we deal with challenges in a different manner. So for some people it helps talking to strangers, you know. For some people it helps talking to people that they trust, you know, that they grew around them. So there's a different way of dealing with it. It differs from person to person. That's what I'm trying to say. But I believe if for example helping kids for me
Mm.
it's sort of a remedy. It's
Mm.
something my heart in a such a space that I can't actually explain, because me helping another person is I'm helping myself. Seeing a
Yes.
smile from that kid, the underprivileged kid, it brings a smile to me. So yes, helping other
Yes.
people for me works. That's how I deal with it in a positive manner.
Okay. No,
Yeah,
I hear you. Okay. So you don't have
no,
like a stable like day to day routine. You just have things that you do often and they all contribute in their different ways to you.
true,
Okay.
very true.
No. That's great because that then tells me it's easier to put something like that into like your lifestyle altogether. So if something
Yes,
like
yes.
praying works for you, that means there's no day where you sit down and you're like, okay, now it's time to pray. You generally pray often and it
Exactly.
works. Or if it's
Everywhere.
helping
It's
people, yeah.
sorry to cut you. It's crazy how it works. You know,
Yeah.
if when actually you don't need to have a routine, because you know problems come in different angles. You know, you
Right.
problem usually takes you by surprise. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so if you always prepared, like praying, you don't plan that I pray in the morning or in the evening. I sometimes
Mm-hmm.
pray even on my way to the shop while driving with my
Mm-hmm.
you know, so it becomes a habit. You know, when something
Mm.
is a habit, you sometimes or most of the time you do it without realizing that you're doing it. Then it's a habit.
Mm.
So I pray everywhere where I go, at any
Mm-hmm.
time. I do help people anytime at any given time. I don't
Mm.
plan to say, okay, maybe if I'm going to a school to give out food, obviously I need to plan that. But most of the time, I never plan who to give, what to give. You know, so even if you come across, like you see your Nyauke boys at the street, yeah, so there are people who have this mindset to say, no, Nkasi why on 1, 2, 3. But giving, it has nothing to do with the person that is giving.
Mm.
It has everything to
Mm.
do with you
Mm.
as a giver. Yeah, so
Mm.
if you give, it works more for you, because giving gives you a feeling that I can't express, especially when you give without expectation, you know.
Yes, yes.
It's crazy how it works. So that's another form. You might not realize sometimes, but it's another form of working on yourself. It brings
Mm.
happiness. You know, yeah. So
Mm.
it's the little things
It's
that make a
yeah.
huge difference. Yes,
Yes. So,
yes,
okay, I picked up on something you said. You're basically saying habit more than routine. Ne? Habit makes
yes, exactly,
better. It works better than routine.
exactly. That's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
okay.
Yes,
Does that mean that there's more motivation with a habit than there would be with routine? Because now I wasn't really separating the two until you started,
okay,
until you mentioned it. And now I'm thinking, why not having a
yes,
routine requires some type of level of motivation that
yes.
a habit is more automatic.
Yes, so okay, you that's a very good question. It makes sense.
Mm.
So this is how I see it. At first, it will be a routine. At first, remember, it needs to be encoded in your mind, in your
Okay.
subconscious mind, for
Yeah.
it to be a habit. It needs to
Mm.
be encoded in your subconscious mind. So at
Mm.
first, it will be a routine. It will be a
Mm.
routine. Like, let me give you a practical example. Um, let's say you're not someone who exercise, you know,
Mm.
and then you decide to say, for this coming 2 months, I'm gonna wake up at 7 o'clock and go exercise, you know,
Yeah.
go take a walk or anything. So you
Yes.
do it for 2 months. It's gonna be hard. That's a
Mm.
routine because that's something
Mm.
it's not in you. It's a routine. It's gonna be hard. Then it's gonna be hard waking up. But as soon as you wake up, you hit the street. It becomes easy and easier. Then the following day, because some routines or most of the routines comes from seeing someone which is motivation. It comes
Okay.
from seeing someone doing it, and then it's working for that person. You become motivated, then you want to
Mm.
do it. Then from you wanting to do it, you plan it. When you plan it, it becomes a routine. Yeah? You
Mm.
plan it to say 7 o'clock, I'm gonna go running, or maybe 8 o'clock, every maybe 3 weeks a day, and then I mean 3 days a week. Then
Yeah.
it becomes a routine. It becomes a routine. But if you can do it, it differs from person to person. Eh? If you
Mm.
can do it, like maybe let's say for 6 months, then it becomes a habit. It's encoded in your mind. You will wake up
Okay.
without you realizing that you're waking up. I'm not saying you're just gonna find yourself in the street. I'm not saying that, but
Mm.
it becomes easy. That's how you know it's a habit. Let me
Okay.
give you another example. I think maybe you might come closer to. Remember
Yeah.
when you first learned how to drive a car? Remember when you
Mm-hmm.
first learned how to drive a car? No? Uh,
Yes.
you used to mind each and every step, meaning that
Yes.
having the key in your hand, putting the key in your ignition, like when you change gears, you have to
Yeah.
know the gear
Yeah.
that you take it. What's happening now when you get into the car? Without even thinking about it, you get the key
Yes.
ignition, then you go. You're already thinking about the destination where you are going.
Mm.
That that's a habit. At first,
Ah,
it was a
okay.
habit because yeah, I hope you get me. Thank
I
you.
love that analogy. You know what? And I think I love the way you explain things because it always it's been said that if you when you know something to show that you know how to teach it, it's if you can explain it for it to be like visible enough to an 8-year-old. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like for it to be that
it is
detailed.
very
I
hard.
loved
It
how
is
you
very
explained
hard
that.
explaining. Yes, thank
I
you. It
love
is very
that.
hard. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
no,
takes
it's
practice.
yes. Okay.
Yes.
So this part I want to tell me. Do you know someone that committed suicide personally?
Uh, personally,
Because you know why I'm saying it with like I said earlier on. Okay, for instance, we know the rape statistics in South Africa. It's crazy for women, right? Um,
true.
and which means that basically every woman knows another woman that has been raped. For most of the
True.
time, we know someone, right? But because the statistics this time in South Africa, when it comes to suicide with men, are really high. That's why many times when I've spoken to a man, they would know someone that has committed suicide before. You know what I mean? So that's why I
Yes.
was just asking, do you personally know someone as well that has been in that situation?
No, I don't know someone that has been. I don't know
Okay,
anyone personally. Yes, I don't know
personally,
anyone
okay.
personally.
Because here's another thing with suicide. Every time we hear that someone committed suicide, we also always hear that we saw the signs. You know, even when
Yes,
Ricky
yes,
Rick did it, there was always
yes,
everyone, WHO, whatever. We always say a bit like. we saw the signs, guys. This happened and this happened and this happened, and going back to trying to prevent it. I would like to know what would be your idea around how to help the next person. Generally, how to help people around you, even if it's just because obviously, if I'm in that stage, I'm not gonna call you and be like, right now I feel like I want to do this, right? But just a
Yeah.
friend calling you and saying they need your help, or sometimes you just see this one something is not okay. What do you think you have learned to start doing for other people, just to try to make sure that, or just to make the next person happy, basically, to get them out of a bit of an off space, because we've got so much that we have in our minds as human beings. Something's going on at every
So,
moment. So
so,
anything that someone can do for me right now, someone can walk in and just smile at me and I'll be like, oh, okay, this feels better. But what do you think for you that you've learned to do, that you know that for the next person it helps?
uh, again, I don't think I have a specific thing that I can see. Maybe this prevented someone from maybe committing suicide or
Mm-hmm.
doing something that it would have a bad effect on their life. So
Mm.
what I know though, as a person, we need to full. As people, we need to be ourselves as because it has become hard to become ourselves because of the pressure around us. So some of the reasons people commit suicide is is seeing another people, especially on Instagram. Yeah,
Mm.
it's seeing other people doing well while they're not actually doing well. So
Yeah.
it puts pressure on other people. So
Okay.
what I'm saying is, as, as people, we need to be as true to ourselves as
Yeah.
possible. Because
Yeah.
being ourselves is the easiest thing we can do on this earth. Being
Oh
ourselves.
yes. Yeah.
Unlike pretending to being someone else, then
Mm.
that's very hard. So what I think I do in people's life, I add value in different ways. That's what I
Okay.
think I do. Through what I do, through my charity organization, they make a different charity organization. So I inspire people in different ways to say you don't have to have a lot to give to someone else. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like myself, maybe you have seen my Facebook. A lot of people think maybe I'm well off, and I'm actually not well off. I just give what I give. One, I
Mm.
don't own a car. I don't own a car. I
Okay.
don't own a house. I don't own a
Mm.
house. I don't own maybe. I sometimes go to bed eating eggs, pap and eggs. Masonja
Mm.
and stuff because I'm tongue. I eat masons. I hope you eat them. So, uh, but I help a lot of people, even people
Yeah.
who have a lot more than what I have. So to answer your
Yeah.
question is, I think I add value. I might not be aware at some point how much value I add on someone's life, but by being yourself, by being myself on Facebook,
Mm.
doing what I do, helping people, I think
Mm.
I do save a lot of people from not believing in themselves to say I
Yes.
can't do it because I don't have this. I own two companies or three companies, and without having a lot of money, I am passionate about marketing. I'm into marketing.
Mm.
It's hard to believe sometimes. I've never been to school for marketing. I'm a self-taught. I read a lot of books. Yeah. So I've worked with Lekau, the drip guy. I've worked with
Mm.
and other brands without uh, going to do maybe having like your certificate for what I do. So the reason I'm sharing this is you need to believe in yourself. Be yourself
Mm-hmm.
and believe in yourself. Yeah, there's always
Mm.
uh, um, a way of getting where you wanna get. It might take time, but there's always a way. maybe I didn't have my parents didn't have money to take me to school, but I found a way to read books that are relevant to what I want to do. Then it
Mm,
has helped me. Today,
mm,
I've worked with brands that could have simply opted for someone who went to school, but they opted for me because of my hunger, my passion. So that's what I do to inspire people around me per se. There's always a way. Like I believe if someone decides to take their life, they see no way. They see no way. So I'm saying to them, there's always a way. There's always a way, but it's upon us, it's upon you to find that way. So yeah, that's what I can say. That's,
that
so to
that
answer your
that
question,
makes a
yeah,
lot. That
yes,
helps
yes,
a lot, just to hear that other people are really constantly thinking solution based. Because uh,
yes,
and I think it's something that we exercise even more when you're not in a bad place, when you're fine, when we're okay. This is the correct
yes,
time to be exercising how to make sure you keep finding ways to come up with solutions for your
100%,
challenges. And
100%.
then so that when you're really in a bad place, your subconscious is now used to the fact that, but generally, you're probably going to come out of it. Either you're going to implement being kind to someone else and it's going to work, or you're going to implement working out, or you're going to implement praying, there's always something that you're going to automatically end up doing, because when you were okay, you just got yourself in the habit of doing something right that was actually continuously working for you. I have
Very true.
Yeah, I have one last thing that I think is also um, a big impact in in our mental health. You mentioned Instagram,
Yes.
and like I was saying, social media became a big thing as soon as COVID hit, and it has been proven that too much social media is too negative for your mental health, right? Which means that as much as we want to say that we want to have good people in our spaces, we need to have good people around our social media spaces as well. You know, with you, especially even being someone that is like really social. To me, you seem like a really social person.
Yes,
um,
I'm very social. Yeah.
yeah. So how do you manage having the right circle around you, the right people around you, so that you can continue having proper conversations that are constructive for you and your mental health?
Um, I don't think you actually right. You just need to manage. You'll always have bad people around you. Like myself, I do have people in social media. They call them haters, but I wouldn't like to call them haters.
Mm.
But one thing that has worked for me, having negative people around me, is that as a person, I've taught myself. So reading has helped me a lot. I don't want to lie. Reading has helped me
Okay.
yeah, because as much as I read books that are relevant to what I do, which is marketing, I also read other books that has nothing to do with marketing. So you need, as a person, you need to have the ability to be in someone's shoes.
Mm.
I'm gonna repeat that again. As a person, you need to have the ability to be in someone else's shoes. Let's say, for example, you post something positive, like anyway. I'm sure maybe you have realized my Facebook has a lot of people who post a lot. You saw this other guy. He said he thought it was a wedding or
A
something.
wedding invitation.
Yeah, so it doesn't mean that. I know he meant good,
Mm.
but you need to have the ability to be in someone's shoes. So what I'm trying to
Right.
say is that when someone is negative towards you, you need to take yourself and put yourself in their shoes, because it's never about you. It's never about you. When they are negative about towards you, it's never about you. It's actually about them. People are going through a lot every day. They are going through a lot. So their mind is constantly searching for something that will make them better.
Right.
So one, maybe fighting with you on social platform, it will make them better. It's not about you,
Mm.
it's about them. So you need to have that ability to step back and assess the situation. Ask yourself, this person has never met you, they don't know you, they only see you on social. Why would they wanna fight you when you're trying to spread something positive? Ask yourself that. Why?
Okay.
You won't get that answer because now it's about them. You don't know what they are going through.
Mm.
You
Right.
know? So every time people answer, especially on social media, they reply or answer without understanding. They answer from their problem. They answer from what they are going through. So if you have realized, I laugh a lot on social platform on Facebook. I laugh a lot. When someone is insulting me, or I laugh a lot because I know that they actually not having a problem with me, but they have a problem with themselves. Yeah, so that's how much I deal with. That's how I deal with negatives around me on social platform. Because immediately when you start being negative towards me, I have that ability. I move in milliseconds. I have that ability to move myself to your shoes to say this person needs help. Then I always help where I can help if it's possible at that given time. Yeah, so that's
Mm.
how I deal with negatives around me. And actually doing that, not fighting with a person that tries to fight it, you
Okay.
actually teaching them something. You actually teaching them something to say
Mm.
we can turn something that was supposed to be a fight and we turn it into a joke. Then you've practically made their day a session in a way.
Mm.
So yeah, that's how I deal with. So never uh, uh, get involved in fights that have nothing to do with you. It because you'll never convince that person. If he sees a wedding invitation, that's what he sees. You never change him. Yes, unless you talk to him straight to say, my guy, why do you think this is a wedding invitation? So
Yeah.
this is one. Let me share with you one thing that I've learned through reading books. Ne?
Mm.
So can I charge my phone? Quick, it's the battery is low. I just need to charge it.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, don't go away. Don't go away.
No problem.
So this is what I want to share before closing. Eh? Today, as people, we operate 95% from our subconscious mind, and then we only operate 5% from our conscious mind.
Conscious.
So
Okay.
this is why I'm sharing this. You need to be aware that as a person, 95% of the day you operate from your subconscious mind, meaning that you operate from your habits. Everything that you're doing it's from the tapes that were recorded in your mind. It might be
Mm.
from when you were little as a child. Maybe you had a
Mm-hmm.
disturbing upbringing. So uh, just to add on from the question that you asked before this one, is to say people themselves, because of the experiences that they went through, which they never dealt with. So us,
Yeah.
because of everything that they went through, uh,
Okay.
uh, 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 and then now they apply it on their everyday life. You know, yes. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I wanted to share also. So before closing, I'm sorry, I know our 30 minutes is done. So we have a new business that I wanted to share with the people on the platform. We have a new business as a charity organization. Uh, remember, so for the past maybe 9 months from last year, as a charity organization, we've been experiencing a different help, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So remember, us as a charity organization make a different charity organization. We depend on individuals or the community to help us in order for us to help these kids, the
Right.
underprivileged kids. So we've been experiencing a decline in terms of getting help, and then we understand why it's happening, the decline. So because of everything is expensive now, from food, uh, petrol is expensive, and in order for someone to help you, they need to take care of home first. You
Yeah.
know, that's a fact. Yes. So for that reason, I came up with a business idea, which is to sell eggs. We're gonna be selling eggs from the 25th of this month. So the money, the profit that we'll be making from the egg business will then put us in a position to help the underprivileged kids. You know? Yeah. So I'm excited about it. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I was waiting on the logo. I'm done. I think I'm gonna introduce the business to the to the to the public next week.
Okay.
So I'm gonna introduce the business to the public next week, meaning that Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, yeah, all the profit that we'll be making will be able to help the kids without heavily relying on the public because we are all going through some tough times. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I just want to share with you something crazy as well. I
Mm.
haven't introduced the business. I only spoke with my friends on WhatsApp and stuff. But yeah, we have already 75 plus customers that want us to deliver to them. Yeah. So
George,
I'm excited.
I will always be like shocked and in awe of your work. Every single time.
Thank
I
you.
will always be. It's I'm excited.
Thank
You know what? Okay. After this conversation, and actually, even if by the time you do launch the business, please make sure you're sending me all the details around this. I'm gonna post this video on YouTube, but I'm gonna go back to the video and just update your details regarding all of that. Please fill me in. I'm so excited for you. Like,
thank
I'm
you.
excited. Yeah. But otherwise, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah,
Please
thank you so much for agreeing
do
to
invite
this.
me regularly on this. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank
No,
you,
we're gonna do this
Elizabeth,
again.
and
We're gonna do
everyone.
this again. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.